joining the Free Time Mastermind podcast. I'm your host, Robert Gaines. We have with us this morning Gabrielle Nunez, and she's an author, entrepreneur, YouTuber, passive income specialist, and mom. Thank you so much for joining the channel this morning.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to be here.
Did I leave out any titles? That's quite a bit. That's quite a number of titles you carry.
No, no, just, well, maybe graphic designer.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, yeah. And as a content creator, you have to, unless you have a VA doing that, that's a really important part. So let me ask one question. This wasn't even on the list, but I think this is a good one. People have told me that for YouTubers, you should be spending about 80% of your time on your thumbnail. Is there any truth to that at all?
Well, you do have to spend some time in it, but you don't have to spend 80% of the time on it. I disagree with that.
Yeah, it seemed a little extreme, but have you ever gone back and changed a thumbnail if it performs poorly or less than what you expect?
Yes, I have done that.
Mhm. Well, fantastic. You've got great explanations on your YouTube channel about KDP, which is something that I've talked about, but you explained some things I had never even heard of before, like Gemsy. Is it iRighty? Is that how you say that?
iRighty,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, let's give the audience a quick win. What do you think is the best thing out there for people just starting out? Do you think they should go right for the Amazon Associates? Is there any low-hanging fruit out there if somebody's looking to start another stream of income?
I think, yes, Amazon Associates is a really good example. That's the first step I took. And at first I failed miserably because I couldn't get traffic to my links. The good thing is that they give you at least 3 months to get just three sales. So you start seeing that income from online can actually be a possibility, even if you only got $10 from it. So across time, it just starts to compound. And one of the things I really like about being a content creator and passive income online is that all the work you do just compounds. You're not wasting time.
That's right. And things can be broken down into smaller content. A full-length video can be broken into shorts. And I have to thank Gary Vaynerchuk for that because I hadn't really thought about that. And I just seeing all of his videos. And a long form content can become shorts. It can become a post on the various platforms. Now, what platform do you dominate on? Is your home base LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook? Is there any place? Because I know ultimately, when we'll talk about this, how to get them to your website, which is the ultimate goal. But
Yeah.
which social media platform do you feel most comfortable with?
I think YouTube. YouTube is a big one. That's my main platform. I also have Instagram and TikTok, and I recently recovered my Pinterest account, which I messed up by accident. So, yeah, I think my strongest platform is YouTube.
And I was going to ask you if you have a background in education, because the thing that really impressed me about your channel is when you're explaining technical stuff and you're moving around the screen, it's very intuitive. I don't know if that was just a process you developed over the evolution of being a YouTuber, but I can follow along with your content so well. And the editing is really, really good. So how did you figure that out? What's your secret?
Well, I'm really glad to hear that it's very clear. I've been a teacher for almost 20 years
Oh,
now.
of course. Yeah, it's fantastic. And I mean, I want people to check out your channel, and the link is in the description already so that they can jump over there. But actually, I just have your main website in the description. If you want, I can also put the YouTube channel. But I know ultimately, really all of that great information that you have is on the website. You even have information about building funnels. Can you describe to, let's say, an audience member who doesn't know what a funnel is? Can you explain the purpose of that?
A funnel is basically a landing page. The first time I heard about funnels, I was like, what is that? It doesn't sound something very clear, but it's basically just a landing page where you offer information about your product. And the copywriting in it has to be very special so that people are interested, like they don't click off. And there's several tactics that you can take to make that funnel work. But the funnel doesn't only work through that page. You capture their email, and that's when you turn the people who are visiting into clients because they can land on that page once and never come back. But if they land on that page once and are not very decisive about if they want to move forward and purchase, well, at least you've got their email to contact them again.
And that's a great point. Look what happened. I'm not sure exactly what the situation was with Pinterest, but if you had built your empire on Pinterest and then a scammer or a hacker or something happened and you lost your account, we had a gentleman on that I think he had 22 Facebook pages for because he was doing highly regionalized. It was the same concept, but he was doing it in different regions, different major metropolitan centers. So there was a page for each one. And no warning, Facebook, which is Meta, shut it all down. And he spent months, and that was his primary income. And, it's very hard to do that to a bricks and mortar to shut it down. But electronically, boom, you could, in the middle of the night, lose your entire income. But if you're getting people to your website and connecting with them via email, now, once they're in there and they've given you their email, do you give them a newsletter? How do you keep them connected with you?
I send them updates about videos that I launch. And I also send a newsletter about products that I've been testing and also typical festivities, happy Merry Christmas, happy Valentine's, those kind of stuff. So you build a connection with those people. And if your main platform, like in my case, YouTube, went wrong, then you have an opportunity to reach out to them and say, hey, this happened. You can find me now on this channel.
That makes a lot of sense. And of course, where are you getting a lot of contacts? Are people communicating with you via the YouTube comments? Are you getting emails? What do you think is the most popular way that people are reaching out to you?
I started collecting emails from the very beginning of my journey.
Oh, fantastic.
So at some point, about 4 years ago, I became obsessed with YouTube. So I started watching lots of tutorials and, I just went through, they call it analysis paralysis. But it actually served me because I learned so much. And one of the main things they say, you have to start grabbing emails from the very beginning, even if you're not selling anything. So I think a big error is to not grab your audience's emails, even if you don't have anything to sell yet.
And that's a great question. So the big struggle is, and I've been talking to AI about this and looking online. I'm a big fan of Audible. I listen to audiobooks, business audiobooks all day, every day. If I'm if I'm not on camera, if I'm not reading something online. And there's really not a lot of great books about how to, if you're just starting, how to build an email list. What do you think is a good way to craft something? Because a lot of people aren't just going to volunteer their email. They want something in exchange. How do you make the offer of what you have so enticing that they're willing to entrust you with their email? Because people are pretty guarded about their emails these days.
Yes, you have to create a lead magnet, which basically is a freebie or something that you're offering for them in exchange. And my first lead magnet was actually about the best strollers for travel, which is funny because I started my channel talking more about motherhood stuff, and slowly it turned into how to handle motherhood while earning income online. So my first lead magnet was a PDF showing a comparison table of all the different strollers. And I apologize for the sounds in the background. My dog is playing.
Believe it or not, I have really good inner monitors. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. So
Oh, good.
you've got a good microphone.
Oh, good.
Well,
So,
go ahead. I'm
so
sorry.
yeah, people when they see something that they would really like to have, because I made a video about the best travel strollers, which was a great hit, by the way. And at the end of that video, when I launched it, I thought, well, it might be good to give them a comparison table that they can download. And that lead magnet alone brought me over 400 contacts across time.
400. I mean, that's that for people that don't know, that's stellar. I mean, that's really, really stellar, especially, in an early phase. And I think, you're probably a great case of you don't have to have 100,000 followers. I mean, 100,000 are nice, but I know
Mhm.
people that are doing quite well with channels that are smaller because they have a good, strong core audience that are really attached. And it's that concept. It's better to have 1,000 raving fans than 100,000 people that are just on YouTube looking for the next dopamine fix, looking for silly little short videos. But your content is great. It's very high quality in terms of both the presentation, the description. I mean, it's packaged very well. So it's going to have a very long lifetime. What video did you shoot that you thought, well, let's see what happens, and it really blew you away, how much attention the video got?
It was a video. Um, it was right before my first video about Gemsy, where I talked about how Amazon KDP started working for me for my old low content books. And I just created it after, I think it was like 4 weeks of not publishing because I was busy creating a book because I was so excited that Amazon KDP was finally working. So I let go of YouTube for a moment to focus on that big book. And then I launched that video talking about how Amazon KDP actually does work. And yeah, I just put it up there, and all of a sudden I got 200 subscribers in one single day on YouTube.
That's a lot. That's a lot. And of course, low content publications on KDP, which is Kindle Direct Publishing, that's Amazon's way that you can publish a book. That low content is usually journals, guidebooks, and things like that. In other words, versus, let's say, a standard nonfiction book that might be 150, 250 pages. Are all of your publications on Amazon KDP, are they all um, like that, like journals, or do you have full written books as well?
I have full written books now. At first, I started with 25 low content books, but then I decided to do a high content book. So my first high content book, by the way, was too big. It's like 400 pages,
Good.
but it's one of my best sellers too. And the advantage of high content books is that you get multiple streams of income from one single book. You can't do that with low content books.
That's very true. And I'm usually a pretty good researcher. I was a fraud investigator for a long time, so I'm good at searching. But I actually have to confess to you, I had a hard time finding your books, and I was looking because I wanted to bring up, one of the titles or one of the influences for it. Do you have one of your physical books there in the office that you can hold up, or are they all digital?
I do have one that I printed out, but I don't want to show it because I'm using a pen name.
Oh, okay. All right. Now it makes sense. Okay. Yeah, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, we've had authors like that on, and what one person wanted to come in and be in the shadow because they wrote a really really great book. But no, that's amazing because you can write in other identities and tell stories about things. So I think that's wonderful. What would you say to an aspiring author that, let's say, they're a nonfiction author and they have a book 150 pages they want to put out? Is there something that you wish you knew a year or two ago that you could tell the young fledgling writer that's going to publish on Amazon for the first time?
Yes, I have to emphasize that keyword research is the most important part of the process. And that's something that made my first low content books fail because I got really excited and I was really cocky thinking I'm a graphic designer. I can do way better than those low content books I saw on Amazon that were selling really well. Some of them are actually really ugly and they're getting tons of sales. So it's interesting, and I'm a perfectionist, which is part of my downfall, but at the same time, part of my advantages because I can't do anything halfway. I recently made a video about that too. And yeah, keyword research is just something that you must do. And your title is super important. That's your main keyword. You can't use like a creative, funny, witty name for your book. No, it has to be a keyword. Like people who have publishing houses that are expensive and famous, they can take that luxury. They can use very creative titles. But for us, self-publishers, the best thing we can do is use a really powerful, profitable keyword. And for the subtitle, you should watch the length. You know, back in the day, Amazon allowed keyword stuffing, and you can insert a ton of keywords on those two parts of your book. And now you really can't. Like the title has to be your main keyword, and your subtitle has to be a very powerful promise, a transformation you're offering, a problem you're solving, but also including some keywords.
That's right, because the buyer is, in nonfiction anyway, the buyer is thinking, what's in it for me? And really, if you think about the even the YouTube thumbnail, immediately the person needs to know what's in it for me. And the approach of using YouTube like a search engine and answering those questions, because people are going to YouTube. Like I went to AI this morning. AI helped us out. We're asking questions. You know, that's the human way of exploring and understanding information. If you're a purveyor of information, which you are, and I am, so you have to be really good in the explanations. I'll say that I failed. I have a very weird title, and I wanted to make it unusual, scintilla, but if I was down south, it'd be scintilla, and it's a super long subtitle, but it does, you know, does explain what it does. But the keywords, like you were talking about, if people don't realize on KDP or Kindle Direct Publishing,
Mm.
when you're posting your book on Amazon, there's a section where you can put in the keywords associated with your book, just like you can put tags in a YouTube video. And there are big videos out there, and I'm sure you've got one too. I don't know if I watched one or not, but I'm sure you have videos about how to do the keywords correct. Is that right?
Yes, I created a video exclusively on keyword research, where I explain how I do keyword research with self-publishing Titans Pro, which is my favorite keyword research tool. Another favorite keyword research tool is also Helium 10, but that one's expensive. So only if you're like a very serious author, that's when you have to use it. And I recently started using it too.
And that's something you're going to just use once before you publish your book, or as you're publishing your book, or is Helium 10 something you're going to use for everything, your content, your books, your
You can continue using it. I mean, if you're publishing books over and over again, yes, you will be using it continuously. But if you take breaks between the times that you create books, then you can probably just use it for a little bit. Like for example, you can plan the launch of your next 6 books and get into Helium 10 and do your keyword research their product research, because you don't only need to do keyword research, but also product research, because you have to see what books are selling. And you can reverse engineer, which is an amazing thing. You can reverse engineer those successful books to see what keywords they use, what descriptions they used, and even what keywords they use for ads. That's the important part too, because not only do you need keywords for your listing, but also for running ads. And those keywords are not the same most of the time.
And Russell Brunson he was one of the first people I've ever heard talk about reverse engineering, and he reversed engineered other people's funnels. So if he gets somebody in who's, let's say, a veterinarian or a chiropractor, then he'll just go and look for a popular veterinarian or chiropractor, find out which funnel is, because I guess they have some type of tool to know which one's getting the most traffic, and then they don't copy it, but they gain influence by it, and that's kind of a high level hack, which I think is great, because let's face it, a 400-page book, how long did that take you to write? I mean, that's an investment of time.
It took me actually 2 to 3 weeks,
Oh,
thanks to
wow.
the help of AI.
Okay. Wow, that's fast. That's fast. But let's say if you were doing it kind of the old-fashioned way. I mean, I know people that I forget how long it took, but when Robert Caro wrote the book about the guy in New York, and it doesn't come to me, but it's one of the greatest biographies ever written. It's just I'm on the spot and I can't think of it. But I know it took him more than 10 years to write that book. Now the book is unbelievable. I mean, it's the most detailed life I've ever read, and it's an amazing book. But you could tell he put he thought about every single sentence in there. And if you to and I know authors that have done almost that much effort They just said, well, I'm going to put it up on Amazon and I'm going to let the universe decide. Well, the universe never decides to sell your book. I mean, it's just funny how often the universe says no if your marketing's not good. So, any advice for people that are wanting to start a couple of streams of revenue? So we talked about Amazon affiliates. Let's say stay-at-home mom, which I believe is partially your target market. If you wanted to give them a quick three things to do to set up, what would you recommend to them if they don't have any accounts on anything, they've got no presence on social media. If somebody was just to open their laptop for the first time, what three things would you tell them to do?
The first thing I would tell them to do is to sign up for the Amazon Associates program and also sign up for Amazon KDP. So those accounts are set up. After that, definitely start a YouTube channel and get a Pinterest account. Those are powerful search engines, YouTube and Pinterest. So the content that you create there doesn't die. It doesn't last 24 hours like Instagram or TikTok or those other social medias. Those are for like quick wins. Like you can create a video and it goes viral and you got a lot of leads or maybe even sales. But after a while, it kind of just dies. And with YouTube and Pinterest, that doesn't happen. And next, after they sign up for Amazon Associates, they don't even have to buy anything. I mean, all of us stay-at-home moms are just Amazon fanatics. We always have a bunch of packages at the door, whether it's stuff we need for our kids or stuff we need for our household. And had I known that this was possible 10 years ago, I would have done it 10 years ago. I had no idea that Amazon could be paying me back for everything I purchased. And when I discovered these programs, I became extremely excited because I just have so much stuff from Amazon in this house that I've been reviewing even things I bought 10 years ago.
And Gabrielle, you bring up an excellent point. Considering all of the things that you mentioned, none of them cost any money. It doesn't cost any money to start Pinterest. It doesn't cost any money to start a YouTube channel. It costs no money to open an Amazon KDP account. It costs no money for Amazon Associates. So it's amazing. I mean, if you have a smartphone, you can have a YouTube channel. And even if you don't have a smartphone, if you've got a friend that has a smartphone or a friend that, because I started this channel with, it was a slightly nicer than normal webcam,
Mhm.
and I upgraded. I will say I'm thinking about going back to the webcam for the solo content because I'm staring at this huge camera in my face and I can't see my monitor. And for solo content, I don't use a lot of scripts. I usually try to really pre-prepare, but I think I would do better if I use scripts. Are you using scripts and you have a teleprompter, or do you just memorize the content? Because you publish so frequently, I would think having some type of teleprompter up or something on screen would help jog your memory. What works
I
best
do
for you?
I do have a teleprompter now and I do my scripts. But just because editing is so much faster that way, before I used to do everything, on the go. I didn't like reading scripts. I just had like a list of bullet points to look at while I was recording my video. And it's very funny because on my first YouTube video, I thought that I had to memorize everything or just be perfect on the first take. And soon you discover you don't have to do that. You can make mistakes, you can say things again. But I ended up piecing bits and pieces of my videos a lot, and I didn't like the way that looked in my editing. So I ended up buying a teleprompter, but that's very recent, like in the past 2 months.
And now that you've had it for 2 months, do you feel like, hey, that was a good investment?
Yes, yes, I love it. But at the same time, I do miss a little bit of the naturality that comes from not having an established script. And I don't like looking at the teleprompter because it's this big thing. I have it right here, by the way. See, it's just a big monster
Oh,
with my
wow.
camera.
Is that what they call the newer NEEWER? Well, you can drop your affiliate link. That way
Yeah,
people can buy it.
I'll
That's
send
a
it. It's
yeah.
it's it's a big one, and I like this one because my camera is very little, so I couldn't like screw it on to the teleprompter like other teleprompters that need an adapter and everything. And my camera's just like a little tiny
I think
Sony.
I think that was
So
almost the camera I went with because that's a really great. Is that like the Z10 or something like? Yeah,
yeah,
that's
the C1F. So I really love this camera. But I'm gonna be very honest with you. I liked my iPhone more.
Wow. And just easier and more intuitive?
It's easier when it comes to color grading and all that. It just
Oh.
has a better overall coloring. And this one you have to color grade.
Wow. And that's a pretty high level editing. Now, speaking of editing, like I said on your YouTube channel, the cuts are just amazing. The editing is really fantastic. Is that because I used a script and I don't think you're using Descript. You're probably using something a little bit more higher intensity powered. So I wanted to check with you what your software was.
I use the script.
You Descript, wow. Okay, you're just really, really, really good at it. I use Descript too, but I can't. I looked at your content and I thought I don't know if I could do that in Descript because there's a lot of what I would call, and people just need to go to your channel to see it. There's a lot of dynamic cutting, and the thing that I think is most compelling, and I don't know if you ever get feedback like this from other creators, but I love that you're talking on camera, and a lot of times you're discussing something full frame and then
Mhm.
you'll do a switch and you'll start talking about something on a page, but you're still there and it's a circle and then you
Yes.
come back and it's so fluid. I if you look at my cuts on my channel for my solo content, it's there's still a little there's lags in places and things.
Hmm.
So I just have to get better at Descript. But Descript is an amazing program. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I'll check, I won't take too long looking at this, but I think Descript, I think I have an affiliate account with them as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
Yeah, there it is. And people get what, 50% off the creator plan for 2 months. And then I don't know what you and I would get if somebody signed up for it. But but that's fantastic too. Have you gone on a lot of podcasts like this, or is this something relatively new?
This is new. This is actually my first live stream.
Wow. Okay. Well, fantastic. They tend to do very well. For my channel, it helps with the watch hours. I'm very open about why I do what I do. There's no secrets because I believe, and like you believe, which is the purpose of your channel, there's an abundance. There's plenty of money out there for anybody willing to be serious and to work. And I think that's what's so great about your website. So let's talk about your website. You've got all this content and blueprints and PDFs that people can download. What's your most popular thing that people are going to your website to download?
My most popular thing is my KDP launch checklist because I show step by step what they need to launch a book successfully. Everything from the very beginning, the keyword research, the listing, the offers that you have to do when you put it on sale. It's just the whole process is there step by step. And many of the people that reach out to me, they don't have a framework. They don't know what to do. They're like, okay, I'm going to write a book. What do I do first? And there, everything is in order. So they just have to follow the steps. Of course, those steps are detailed. So it's if you want more information, then they can sign up for my Amazon Income Blueprint, which, by the way, I just did the pre-launch sale. It's on finally. That's a super big announcement I have because I'm getting so many leads there, so many people that are interested in it.
I'm going to
And
drop your website in the chat. It's already in the description, but I'm going to put it in the chat too because we do have some great people watching. I look over every now and then just to see if anybody has any questions. But I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
oh, so I have had people reach out to me, sending me emails saying, I created a book with what you've taught on YouTube. Here's my book. Take a look at it. And thank you so much. And others asking, so when are you going to launch this course finally? So I opened a pre-launch sale so that they could get it at a very, very affordable price. And I am super excited. I'm going to start uploading videos in the following weeks before the final launch date when it will be complete. And even after that, I will be doing updates based on the feedback.
And it'll be like a secret members only set of videos, or in other words, how are you keeping that separate from the channel, or is it on the channel?
No, it's separate from the channel. That's hosted on system.io,
Okay.
and it's like a student dashboard where they can take the master class, and it will be in little bite-sized pieces. So if they're busy parents or have a 9 to 5, they can sit down and watch a video every day, a video or two, every step they take towards their Amazon income, um, passive income creation. It compounds. Like I said, you're not losing time. It's not like a normal job where you work, you get paid, you're done. And then that work you did in the past is not going to continue paying you. But when you do it on Amazon KDP or Amazon influencers or Amazon associates, every single step that you take, it compounds. It just starts becoming like little seeds that are growing and growing and growing. Before you know, you have a whole field of seeds producing money for you.
It takes time, but yeah, anything, of course, anything good takes time. And building all of that content, I think, is a great way because people might not want product A or product B, but if you've got C, D, I think of it with especially all the low content books that
Mhm.
you were talking about. It's almost like having a store. They walk in and, oh yeah, I can see getting my cousin one of these. I don't really need that, but hey, Tony's birthday's coming up. Let me grab this. So I think it's a fantastic idea. One thing that I want to do, I already have a second book that's essentially done. But I really want to grow my list and grow my audience bigger before I put it out because I know what happens when you put a book out and you have no audience. I already know how good that works. You know,
Yes.
I was hoping the universe would do that. The universe wasn't with me. I have to have the universe and the marketing. You have to have both of those together. Well, thank you so much for your time. We've got your website in the chat. We've got it in the description. If you like, I can put the link to your YouTube in the description as well. But did I leave anything off? Anything you wanted to share with us?
No, I'm just super excited to share my knowledge with everyone. And I know most of my audience loves Amazon KDP. Only a few are interested in the affiliate programs. But honestly, those both programs, Amazon affiliate programs and Amazon KDP, are actually paying for my car, some of my bills, and I started earning $14 in 1 month, and now it's paying for so many bills. It's helping me so much, and it just keeps growing. It keeps growing.
And
So,
thank you for mentioning that and the fact that it's 90 days. So if somebody does sign up on it, they need to sign up and hit it hard because you've got to get those three qualified sales in the first 90 days. So if you're thinking about doing Amazon, wait until you're really for sure that you're going to do it because I've had a few people contact me, man, they turned off my thing. I said, well, you didn't sell anything in 90 days. They're busy people. They want to work with people. And it's not that hard to get the three qualified sales. It's just you have to jump out of the gate, sign up, and be very serious about it and start posting those links. And don't be shy about posting affiliate links. Like you said earlier, people are already going to shop on Amazon. Why not make your 3.5 to, because different products have different percentages. And if they want to know more about that, they need to go to your channel. So thank you
yeah,
so much, Gabrielle. I will end the stream and we'll continue on Zoom.
thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I just want to close down the YouTube here.